Well, guys, we have a mass shooting that just happened last night in New Hampshire, and for some reason, the media is on overdrive to cover up not only the event, not spread it out everywhere, but also avoid some very key words like the shooter yelling, "Free Palestine!" But the motive is just so unclear, we don't want to jump to conclusions. Yeah, no, I'm going to show all of you it right now. Everything will be linked in the description box below. I always bring the receipts, and if you guys want to help to spell this and save our country, bring it back from the leftist brink, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn the notification bell on. We are mission oriented and we are taking off right now. All right, of course, you can follow me at Braden LOA on X. Let's dive right in. I do not want to bury this lead for you guys, but I'm going to start with an update from something that we covered last night around a drive-by shooting that happened in California, which is weird because that's a gun control state. But it turns out the guy who did that to the ABC affiliate right after a Jimmy Kimmel firing protest where 20s upon 20s of people lined up angry, it turns out he's full of anti-Trump post on his X account. That's really weird, isn't it? I would just never have thought it would have been a lefty. It's almost like we're developing a pattern here that we need to address, but the media is in overdrive to cover that up. Example one. Here you go. This is the LinkedIn profile of this guy. You just tell me when the check marks start going and the alarm starts going off. Lead lobbyist and public policy strategist for CFT, an affiliate of the American Federation of Teachers, a far-left union affiliated with the Democrats. You just tell me when we start getting into the, oh my God, he loved Trump so much. He had a Trump tattoo on his left breast. He was all about that MAGA life. He had MAGA tattooed on his butt cheeks. He was, man, so conservative. Yeah, there's a reason they're not telling you. And as another update on this one, there is reports that California let him out because, California for $200,000 bail, but he is back in prison because the federal statutes that were violated by going after a station or broadcast center. So the guy's in jail. But you tell me if that sounds like a MAGA conservative, because, there's a pretty simple rule of thumb here. If it's a leftist, a leftoid, a far left psychopath, if it's anybody on the left who's inclined to violence against conservatives or any other institution, we don't talk about that in the media. That's uncomfortable. But if a righty looks at an Oreo wrong, oh my God, how dare you not like Twinkies? My God, it's like they make stuff up just to make stuff up. But don't worry, we're going to dive right into the newest thing they're trying to cover up. Here you go. Did I just make a reference to Oreos and Twinkies? I must be hungry. All right, let's continue. Witness says shooter yelled "Free Palestine" upon firing in a Nashua Country Club event. It's a wedding, and attendees killed one and wounded two. Now, why would they yell "Free Palestine"? And I'm getting to a point here. There's an underlying reason I'm laying this out like this. If someone is yelling "Free Palestine" before we start shooting anything, what side do you immediately orient them to? Yeah, you're right. The left. The team that has the Palestinian flags on all their propaganda and all of their liberal activists. The team that has those scarves that are white and black. I can never say the name correctly, so I'm just not gonna. You know what I'm talking about. It's weird, but that's directly related to the left. And all of a sudden, that has to be memory hold. That can't happen because the media can't tell you what's truly happening. That's why I have the entire series on my channel, An Invisible Mass Shooting, because they only cover mass shootings that benefit them. The rest, they just have to scoot really away because it's really uncomfortable. Like yelling "Free Palestine" while you're shooting it. You guys can't make this stuff up. And I'm going to show you what the media is doing here in 1 second. But I want to bring in a little piece of what I said in a short earlier today. Guys, we're going to win. The left is losing power. They are losing power in institutions. They are losing power in cultural. They are losing power in family orientation. They are losing power in their key demographics. They are openly being rejected by the United States population because it's insane. And everyone knows it. And everyone's not afraid to say it anymore. That's the whole point. So what they're going to do, as I said in my short, is they're going to react a similar way that an animal reacts when they are trapped, hurt, wounded, or just uncomfortable. They're going to start lashing out. You're going to see an increase of rhetoric. You're going to see an increase of violence and protest. And I don't want these things to happen. We've already seen it happen in the 1960s. When the hippies started losing power, they started forming terrorist organizations and bombing stuff. If you don't believe me, you can look it up. The Weather Underground is a really good key point. But the entire idea here is they're going to start lashing out, doing things like, screaming "Free Palestine" while you start shooting people at a wedding. Don't worry though, the media is here to cover it up. But before I show you what the media is doing to whitewash this, let me show you an actual witness from this actual wedding who actually says it. And pay attention to how uncomfortable he is when he says it, because he freaking knows. Watch this.
You get the sense that they knew who.
Didn't hear anything. He just came out and said.
What he said.
Yeah, what he said was the children are safe and, free Palestine.
What was that moment like when you heard the gunshots?
At first, I didn't realize it was gunshots. It sounded like balloons because, we were at a festivity thinking, maybe somebody popped the balloon. But then you look around, we didn't have balloons.
Okay, I don't really care about the balloons thing. But this is the whole point, guys. At first, and again, think back to the Charlie Kirk assassination. At first, it was, no one cares about him. No, it's not going to have an effect. It's not going to be a martyr. I showed you all these videos. Well, turns out that there are 62,000 turning point inquiries and growing since the assassination, and there's 300,000 people trying to get into the memorial service that can hold 100,000. So you were a little wrong on that one. Then I told you they were going to start character assassinating someone who was already politically assassinated, which they are actively doing today on the talk show circuit. More on that coming. And now they have to whitewash everything and cover everything up. They have to basically change history. That's what they're doing here. This is literally a step-by-step basis for how the media is trying to cover for the left. Let me get back to this and show you how the media responded. Again, this is really important to understand because NBC News, you can see right here, that is the exact same event. Everything's linked. You can check it. In this article, they did not mention the words Free Palestine at all. At all. If this guy had mentioned anything like Patriot or MAGA or Trump or Charlie Kirk, it would have been top of the news, the headline, terrorist screams this phrase, oh my God, the right is insane, they're so violent. But nope, because he's screaming Free Palestine, NBC can't be bothered to say those words. You'd think it'd be in the headline, but it's not just NBC, it's also the New York Times. Everything's linked, you can verify this. As of the filming of this video, Free Palestine is not mentioned in either one of these outlets. And in fact, pro tip to NBC and to New York Times, and they can bill me whenever they want, CNN was forced to say, he said Free Palestine. If CNN is posting facts that are negative light on the left, you might want to readjust your life a little bit, New York Times and NBC, because everyone can see what you're doing. Let's scoot on down to the highlighted portion right here. Tom Bartleson, who was also at the wedding, told WHDH he heard the gunman yell, "The children are safe," and "Free Palestine." When asked about the gunman's alleged words, Hinckley said, "We're dealing with the facts and information that we gather, and once we have the actual motive that we can share, we'll certainly do that." Here you go, Hinckley. I'll save you some time, and everyone watching. They know the motive because the guy screamed it. He screamed, "Free Palestine." This is not difficult. This is not hard, but they're going to make it difficult. They're going to make it hard, and they're going to not tell you the truth. The fact that the guy screamed Free Palestine, 3 of the 2 mainline media sources on the left can't even mention the words Free Palestine in it because they don't want it to look negative on the left. You had an ABC drive-by shooting 2 days ago. You had a Charlie Kirk political assassination, and now you got a guy walking into the wedding screaming Free Palestine, shooting people. Those 3 things in short order are not great look for the left. They're just not. And that's why you're winning. And that's why they're getting their butts kicked. And that's why I'm going to see you on the next video. My name is Braden. See you later.